Dune 2. I got a chance to watch it finally. So awesome, so good. I mean, look, what I love about this is because there's no, oh, was it better than number one? It's like, no, 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 it's a continuation. Everything was exactly the same level of epicness, of visuals. Like every scene is like a postcard. Every scene is like a screenshot that you want to take,
Exactly.
which is
Yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah,
loved
yeah.
about every single thing about it. And the character, the costume design, the character looks are amazing. The sound, I complimented the sounds from the first one. The sounds are just amazing. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, "Listen, I think to some people, this could be a very slow-paced movie, and even to me, in some other world, this is a slow-paced movie. But there's something so captivating about this movie." From a visual perspective, from a story perspective, from the characters and the actors and everything, where I'm just captivated. But in another world, it's a very slow-paced movie. And what's his name? Timothy is just really, it's just there's something about him, man. He's really good at this.
I'm starting to like him as well, bro. I think he was in that film with Steve Carell where he played a drug addict son, and it was a really emotional. I thought it's a boy. You know what? Let me just find it, man,
I
because
think I know
it's
what you're
gonna
talking
it's gonna.
about. I didn't realize that was
Uh,
Timothy.
yeah, that was him, bro. It was called. Is that the one with Steve Carell? Where's it gone? Uh, bro, you keep going, Timothy.
Yeah, but yeah, I really enjoy. I mean, there's a very biblical, religious side of thing in
Oh
him, more
yes.
specifically towards the Arabs and Muslim and whatnot. Him being like, there's more to it that I didn't look into. I don't know if you know more, but by watching it, obviously those people are supposed to be Arabs, and he's almost like a prophet and all this sort of stuff, right? So there's a big element to it. Apparently, I don't know if it's the books or whatnot. They people saying they whitewashed it. Really, those actors should be Arabs and all that. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really read into it or looked into it, but I think there's an element of that
I
too.
think what Frank Herbert tried to do was introduce, because he's taken elements from the Islamic culture, the Arabic culture. So I know that it's based on Albanian, Algerian sort of uh, back in the day customs traditions. I'm not 100%. I read the book years ago. I just ordered them again to read through them again because, bro, that movie encapsulated me. Yes, I've seen people saying whitewashed and blah blah blah, but like, why are we so racist, man? Like, why can't we just enjoy it for what it is?
You know what? The way I see it is like it is a great movie, right? It's amazing. So I'm not gonna take that away from.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna. I mean, yes, if they did, yes, you should have. Okay, I think you should have.
Yeah.
But even though it's still so amazing, well, I'm not gonna be like, they fucking whitewashed it. I'm not gonna watch it. It was shit. It's like, no, it wasn't shit. Actually, it was actually really fucking
Oh,
good.
fucking really
But
good.
okay, if they did, maybe they could have put more Arabs and whatever in it. But again, I haven't done the research, and yes, there's an element that they should have, but it doesn't take away from how good it fucking is. Do you know what
Bro,
I'm trying to say?
listen. So the movie I was talking about was called Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell, but Timothy and what's his name? What's the actor's name? Timothy and Harvey. Hold on, I'm bringing up the cast now. Uh, Come on, man. Harvey, but Burdem. Okay. Uh, Lisan Al Gaib, bro. You know what? He's like that excited guy he made me laugh in the film because he had so much joy saying, this guy's the prophet.
Believe, yeah, he
He's the
believes
one.
so much,
Believe,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Everything that happened, he was like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
like the story
Yeah.
says, just like
Yeah.
it's like history tells us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was so everything he did, nothing was wrong, nothing he did that it was wrong. But listen, that side of thing, I'm pretty sure if you go online, you're gonna get a full breakdown, and if you do want to go look into that element and what might be, do it. Like, there's nothing
Yeah, no,
stopping
I
you.
think it's
But I don't
nothing
think,
should stop you.
yeah, and it's good to know that, and even we should know that. But the truth is, it shouldn't take away from enjoying what the movie is. If the movie was shit, it would be so much more easier to be like, the movie was shit and they fucking whitewash it, so fuck them. But the movie was actually fucking good, so you're kind of like, I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is. It's like The Last Samurai, to be honest with you. We're gonna talk about another show after, but that movie, like the Last Samurai, white dude and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I get all of that. Fucking movie's
But
great.
you know what? I think people still haven't got the concept of Last Samurai, and I think similar to what's happening with Dune, is that it's based on the Furman. So it's based on a culture that's getting wiped out because they want the spices. This is, this is when Frank wrote this book, bro. This was before Star Wars. This is before all of the science fiction stuff, before Game of Thrones. This is the original, of what it is, the Jedi and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, the Imperial
bro,
Force and all that
like
sort of stuff.
Frank wrote it at a time. They've adapted a book to a live screen edition. Okay, I think David Lynch, who directed the one in the 80s, it was more of a hollow movie, but it had the interludes of what you see now. But bro, this movie was grand on a different scale, man. And I think, as you said, like some people have found it boring or not a fan of the changes that were made from the book. But could you trying to adapt a book, bro, man? And I'm always going to back the creatives on this one is insane. But the fact that he did it, bro, that movie, bro, I've seen it what, 3 times now? So good. Timothy's powerful, man. You remember that last scene, bro? I was
Yes,
moist.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I got moist as well because I was like, oh my God, I'm on the journey. It's taking me on this adventure. It's
yeah.
taking me to understand the struggles and what people go through and like, this is political shit, bro. This is like real world mixed into fantasy. Yes, I'm taken away from it, but I was like, oh man, I can see the resemblance in reality now. How it is
100%.
and and the earth, the shit we take from the earth and how we ruin it and how we give it out to the people and people have to pay for that shit. This is nuts, bro. The film, bro. Listen, Hans Zimmer's soundtrack, Greg Fraser's director of photography. It looks stunning, bro, and everybody was great in it, bro.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
played have a presence on the screen.
I love the way they
The
were riding the worms, man. That was awesome. I felt so cool. It looked so cool, and I was like, that's so awesome.
just like it's insane. Denise is amazing director, bro. Amazing director. Like we've seen all of his films, yeah. Like Blade Runner, I'm not. It looks amazing, but I'm not a big fan of. But then you've got
The the
movies like
the, the new Blade
Arrival.
Runner, you're talking about the new one,
Yeah, the
not the
new
original.
Blade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 2049. He's just amazing at what he does, bro. And it's a great film.
I
I'm
really,
looking to
bro,
have it.
enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
was very excited. And also, like I said, like it has a slow pace, but not once I look at my phone or for time, I was just engaged. Because there's something, and I've never read the book, and I've never seen the originals. I'm just being very honest with you. Not my ever, and I'm not planning to go back and watch it and read the books. I can't read for shit anyway. I'm in, like I'm in. I loved Dave Bautista's character. He seems so much like a coward in this one. He used to crack me up and whatnot. The other dude, I can't remember his name, but the guy who kind of took his shine was
Oh,
just
Austin Butler's character, Frade
so,
Rother. Yeah.
yeah, man. He looked like there's something about them. There's something about like how he looked and how he acted when I was like, oh, he's evil, but I like him. Like he's so
Mm.
there's something about him, you know what I mean? And then Josh
Yeah, yeah,
Brolin
yeah.
character is so cool.
Yeah.
Um, I really enjoy, and then that the main again, I don't know names, but the main general who's the blob who can't even walk without his oxygen and shit. He just
Oh,
looks
Baron Voldemort.
creepy
Voldemort.
creepy bastard, man. Just such a creepy. If I saw that floating around, that would scare the ever loving shit out of me, man.
I know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you did feel scared because you're like, oh, who is this beast, man? This floating beast, man. I like, man. Move away from me, man. I'm
I said
scared.
Christopher Walken's was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Uh, and
Emperor. Yeah.
I have to be honest with you, I'm still, I do have to watch it again. And I should have watched the first one again because I was a little bit lost in the beginning trying to remember what happened. So I do recommend watch the first one again just to get a recap and whatnot. But what you call it? I was trying to figure out, oh, they're related and shit. This is all relation
Oh,
and all
bro,
that
that's
sort of
when it
stuff. I'm
gets
like,
deep,
what
bro.
the fuck? So
You know when he
yeah,
stabbed him and it was like granddad. I was like,
yes,
he
yes.
he saw the vision. He could see, the he's see, foreseeing. It's like foreseeing the future, and his vision gets more clear. Uh, I see Paul's journey, him growing as a man. There's a scene where he goes, he's talking. I think he was just sitting there and looking at the scenery, and he was like, telling his dad that I found my way, and I found that quite emotional because the beginning of the film is of him learning so much about the firm and about the business and the trade and the type of person he is, a duke and all that business, to suddenly having all of that ripped away from you, to having nothing but revenge on your mind, thinking these guys tried to kill my bloodline,
Mm,
but then to find out that you're part of that bloodline is insane, bro. It's sick.
yeah.
This is Game of Thrones, bro. You know what I mean? On the next level. But some of the tactical stuff they did in that, the Furman did in that, it was brilliant, bro. I love, the amount of culture they put. This is a made up language, bro.
Is it? I
It's a
mean,
made up language, bro.
damn, okay, okay. Yeah, that's
They went
awesome.
in, bros. They
I mean,
went
it's
in.
similar to like Avatar, right? Because he made up, Cameron made up the language and all that sort of stuff. And this should get
Yeah,
its respect for doing that as well, because that's like
bro.
if you ask me to make up my language, make up a language, I'm gonna be like, like you know what I mean. But the way they, if someone, the way they make up a language, I would never have known it's a made up language. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Exactly.
I would have been like blah 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 blah, blah made up some. You can tell that it's fake ass shit. And again, that comes down to creativity. That comes down to
Yeah,
just a different way of thinking. I'm trying when you draw a picture to make a language, like some people can think of this shit. You can't ask me to do that. I could never like
mm.
write a language. I can't even write English in the fucking anyway. It's crazy. I really I think I get older. I kind of admire the I admire almost every element. Like when you tell me that, I
Yeah,
just admire the skill set of like someone sat down or a group of people sat down and was like,
yeah,
let's make up this language. And the fact is, this group of people, whoever it is, they invented and learned a new language. They could probably speak in their own language right now. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you admire those things. Like I say, I admire the visuals. That everything is a screenshot. Like
yeah,
I'm not a visual. I mean, I'm not a artist. I'm an artist in other ways, I guess, martial arts. But
yeah,
I'm not an artist. But there's something about this movie that makes me like screenshot, because everything just looks like that, and I could just admire that. Yes, you could admire the action scenes and all that stuff because I do, and they're fun. You can admire comedy and stuff like that because that's fun and it makes you laugh. But there's these little things now that I'm trying to admire because I just want to respect all the elements of work that go into this
mm.
thing, not just the actors and the directors, but there's so many people behind the visuals and behind the whole perception of these movies. I just want to appreciate them, and so that's what I'm looking at these days, man. I mean, I look, when it comes to breakdowns or movie reviews or whatever we do, for me, it's just how it made me feel, man. I mean, I have to go off the
Yeah,
notes or something.
exactly.
I'm not
I
an
think that's what we
expert.
should call our clips now. Like, how it made me feel. It's not a reaction, it's not a breakdown, and I think that's where it gets a bit confusing. I think we should say that.
All
June
right.
part two, how it made me feel.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, that'll be our review. That'll be this week. I generally try to put the brothers like we geeked out of it, but yeah, I think feeling is how we review shit, man. It's how we feel about it. Anyway, that was good. Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, check the description for the full podcast episode. And while you're at it, show some love and click that subscribe and like button.